This week's episode is brought to you by NYXI and their Hyperion Pro Joy-Cons for Nintendo Switch. The Hyperion Pro is the best Joy-Con replacement we've tested to date. They look fantastic, they feel better than stock Joy-Cons, and the Hall effect sticks ensure longevity of them will outlast Nintendo's offering, as well as other third-party brands that still suffer with the dreaded drift issues. The super comfortable and ergonomic grip allow for easy long-time gaming. The programmable RGB lights mean you can customize the controller to your particular taste, and the gamer's reflex macro buttons are available to give you an edge. Plus, the GameCube-inspired purple option and the green Legend of Zelda-inspired variant really make the controller stand out. All this, and using promo code PvP, you can get 10% off. Head over to NYXIGame.com or use the link in the description. Hello, welcome to Podcast First Player, episode 282. I'm one of your hosts, Cal, and as always, I'm joined by a man who asked me, what does a horny toad say? Rub it. Sandy Bloody Dan.
Hello, good evening, afternoon, and good night.
Yep, I was going to say, where's the good night? I thought we were going into the run.
Yeah.
How the deadly devil are you?
I'm good. The weather's good. It's like 16 degrees at the moment.
Yeah, it's here as well.
Which for nearly 9 o'clock at night is pretty good going. So it looks like we're heading into the old summertime, Callum, and it's only going to get hotter next week. And I'm sure that next week I won't be so keen on it. And I'll be like, fuck the heat.
Yeah, we've had it for a week now. Because it's quite bad over the weekend. It's bright, shitty fucking weather.
Well, Saturday was real rainy and Sunday was okay.
I was in the garden for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it just fucking rained. And it wasn't fun, I'll be honest.
To be fair, though, if you're doing sort of like digging, like planting, that kind of stuff, then the rain is kind of a good thing.
I'll be honest, like it brightened up Sunday, and I was saying to Zoe, like, we've been doing it about 3 or 4 hours. I was like, wish it was still raining. I really do. It was a lot cooler.
Yeah, well, it's cooler and like the ground's a bit easier to dig through and collate, you know.
Yeah. But anyway, we ain't here to talk about no gardening, Dan. We've got some mediocre news to talk about. First up, Dan, we have another Fallout collaboration. So, obviously, we've had Fortnite already, so it's not that.
Oh.
But it's Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone.
No! It's its own game! For God's sake!
So, you can now play as Soap, Ghost, Captain Price, and Gaz, whoever those people are, from Modern Warfare 3's Task Force 141.
Yeah, well, Soap is the
Soap
main guy that you
McTavish.
play as. It is,
if I remember rightly.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he gets killed in one of them. Spoiler.
I'm assuming this is multiplayer elements like it did.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
With
like Bryce
and
is...
stuff.
Yeah. Oh, they did do the boys as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they just latch onto whatever show is currently popular. Like, it wasn't like there was a Fallout show to be released and then they did this to tie into it. It came out, everyone loved it, and they went, oh, fuck, maybe we should probably get in on that. Yeah,
they've added like Cheech and Chongs and Snoop Dogg and stuff, so it's... I don't know what they're doing. At least Fortnite has a story that explains some of the collaborations. Doesn't make any sense, but at least they made the effort. This just seems to have slapped them on. And from the description, it sounds like it's just Soap, Ghost, Capture Price, and Gaz in Vault Dweller suits. So it's not even characters from Fallout.
So is there there's typically like an on theme takedown, like melee kill move. Like, is there a Fallout themed?
Doesn't say. Just says suited up in the iconic blue Vault Dweller suit. The crew's bundled together in the Tracer Pack Vault Dweller bundle, which features over 15 items, including 2 Fallout-themed weapon blueprints. That's all it says.
Now, when it says Fallout-themed, do they mean it's a normal gun for Call of Duty that's just got...
I assume it's a skin, yeah. So it might look like this weapon or this weapon, but it doesn't do anything different.
The laser rifle or the jump jet or something, I'm like, that's probably quite cool. Like, that's a worthy... I would say worthy tie-in, but it's certainly... It's a bit more interesting than just it's a blue Vault-Tec thing with the Vault-Tec symbol on a machine gun. There you go, bang, there's your fall-in.
I still don't understand the fall-in. I still don't understand why the boys crossover wasn't all of the boys, not all of the boys, all of the soups are computer controlled, and then you play as the boys who use
It would
guns.
make far more sense if it was Butcher and MM,
exactly.
and Frenchie,
Yeah,
and then you get a Juggernaut or the equivalent of like a soup thing, and you get Homelander, you get Maeve, or you get Rico or whatever. To just go, it's Homelander with a machine gun, is it?
Pointless. Just pointless. Anyway, I just wanted to include it. Normally, I wouldn't have even bothered with it, but it is Fallout themed, so I
Got to do it then, haven't we?
If I'm going to upset you, I'm going to make sure it's right at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, great. I'm in a great mood.
Because I can follow it up with, thank goodness you're here. The surprise hit of the year. I'm calling it now, Dan.
Yeah, so there was, this is what I'm hoping you're going to talk about. There was a Nintendo Playroom, something.
Nintendo Direct.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And I did see something. I purposely didn't look because I was like, okay, well, Callum's going to come at me with a big old list of titles, and there'll be 3 of them that I'm interested in. One of them I saw on Instagram, and it was a new Zelda.
Yes.
But it's actually Zelda.
Yeah.
And I saw something on it that said, for the first time, Zelda in like her own game. I was like, that's not the first time. There's the original CDI bullshit games. 2 of them, I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, 1 of them, sorry. You play as Zelda.
Yeah, but they wasn't made by Nintendo.
Doesn't matter. It's a Zelda game that's featuring Zelda.
I mean, I'm willing to argue the case of saying Nintendo going, this is the first time that, A, it's a good game.
You can't caveat the first time we did it properly. You just say, like, you can't just say this is the first time that. And again, this wasn't like a claim that Nintendo was making. By the way, this is like whoever had reposted it.
Yeah. I assume because in the CDI ones, you still played as Link. You just
in 2 of them you do. In one of them you are Zelda because Link is in a coma or unconscious or asleep or something like that for the whole game. I'm pretty sure it's Zelda the Wand of Gamelon. I think I'll just double check that.
Even the name's awful. But no, because there was a lot of talk that when Breath of the Wild was first revealed, people.
Oh God, 34%. Thanks.
That's way high, like percent.
Yes.
As in like ratings. That's way higher than I expected it to be.
Yeah, so players take control of Link in the Faces of Evil and of Zelda in the Wand of Gamelon.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's not the first time.
But
so whoever it was, because I can't remember, you're wrong.
But there was a lot of excited people because when Breath of the Wild was first revealed, people thought that you would be playing as Zelda in that. Just mainly because Link was very feminine in how they done the art style. Anyway, it turned out it was Link, and a lot of people were quite angry about that. So it's not surprising. However, it's gone towards the.
What was that? Something Wind.
Wind Waker.
Yes, there were sort of like chibi versions where they were sort of like. Yeah. It's like a 3D version of the original Zelda block.
Oh no! Wind Waker's its own story.
It seems that kind of style though.
Yeah, but they did a remake of. I want to say, it was Link's Awakening. And I actually can't remember off the top of my head. And they did a remake of it, which was like pseudo 3D, and it looks very similar to this.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. So
Wind Waker was cel shaded and.
Oh no, then that's not. No, it was sort of like a little blob. So if you took like the original Link, sort of like 2D top down sort of Link, and then just popped him out and made in 3D. Yeah. Kind of look like that.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It does look good. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom is what that's called. Okay. But yeah, I have included Thank Goodness You're Here, but I don't think this actually was at Nintendo Direct. But Nintendo.
What, Nintendo?
Yeah.
No.
That was
Sega
do what Nintendo.
What Nintendo. Clever.
Great marketing. I miss all that stuff now. But yeah, that looks interesting. I don't think it'll be a day one purchase for me. Zelda, that is. Mainly because with the exception of you playing as Zelda, it doesn't look vastly different. But
well, I mean,
wait till we
all
see
the
more,
Zelda
though.
games are good for their own particular reasons.
Yeah.
Like, they're good puzzle games, they're good adventure games, they're good story games. Like,
I'd definitely
there'll be
pick it
one
up.
thing or another. Yeah.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. We actually got to see some gameplay footage for this. And I'll be honest, I've been very much looking forward to this. And I think we've kind of fallen down the Duke Nukem territory where it's just been too long. I don't think it can live up to the potential.
You didn't play Dread, though, did you?
Dread, I only played on your Switch, but
yes, I brought it down for you to. Yeah.
But all of the I think I've still got all of the Prime games from.
Ow! Becky, you little cunt.
Stan's cat just bit him.
Bit me on the foot, little arsehole.
But yeah, like all the like the GameCube ones and Wii and stuff, like I think they're really good, but I think people kind of mistake them and just go, "This is Nintendo's Halo." It's not.
It's not.
It's
very different.
Yeah. I think they just see space person, first person shooter, and there is shooting, but it's mostly puzzles.
It's another one in. So it's Fusion 4, did you say, or
Prime?
Metroid 4.
So you've got Metroid Prime. That's the first one.
But that was the Wii
GameCube.
That far back, really?
Yeah.
Never had a GameCube.
I love my GameCube.
My mate had one. I do remember whenever we were around, we would play the shit out of it. But yeah, there was one for the Wii U, I want to say, that was.
I think it was original Wii. I think. I'm not sure about Wii U. There might have been one on the Wii U as well. I honestly can't remember.
You might be right. But like Dread is great. I need to. I don't play my Switch enough. I might sell it. Like just on point of principle that I'm not playing it enough.
But that's your fault.
Dread's really. No, it's not PC's fault. Fucking Baldur's Gate. All the incredible games that are on it.
No, it's good. Like, I don't play my Switch as much as I did when I first got it. And I actually play even less now that I've got an OLED one. But it's still... We had a power cut a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And I was like, well, may as well go to fucking bed. And I looked at the time and I was like, it's 10 to 7, I can't go to bed. So I just played on the Switch. Because I don't need power until obviously it dies, and obviously electric game back on. But it's such a good travel companion.
Like whenever I'm coming to you,
yeah.
Or if I'm getting the train for a reasonable amount of time, it'll always be in my bag because I'll be like, okay, well, what can I put an hour into? And it'll be okay. Well, Breath of the Wild, I still haven't got anywhere close to finishing that, but then I've still got all the Pokemons that I bought that I've yet to finish. Then I've got things like Animal Crossing, which don't really have a finish, but it's an interesting thing to do. Things like Metroid are kind of the ones that I should be prioritising, because it's like, that has a definitive end. It must do.
Yeah.
So I need to... And it's good. I enjoy it. It's a really good platformer. It's just not enticing enough. Maybe it's because... Do you know what it could be? And as stupid as it might sound. Because obviously I've got the Switch docked in through the monitor on the PC. Yeah. So whenever I'm playing it, I'm not doing it on the TV. I'm doing it on this monitor. But the sound doesn't go through the monitor. The sound is Bluetooth to me. So I need to use my headset, my Bluetooth earbuds, which means that I can use the monitor, but the sound needs to come through the earbud.
It's a faff.
It is a faff, and obviously it's draining power, but then if I want to watch something, that means I need to have one headphone here, earbud here. And it's not a pleasant setup, shall we say. That's
how we used to have to record our game audio when we
remember that back in the day.
To route the audio through. I mean, to be fair, like typically if I'm playing something, I won't have the TV on normally or whatever to watch something, but I think it's more if you're at home, and I personally, I think this is true for anybody, with the exception of people that only own a Switch. But if you're at home and you've got a PC, you've got a PlayStation, you've got an Xbox, that's what you're going to play at home. But if you're out, you can't play any of those. So play your Switch.
xCloud.
I mean, you could technically use your phone and stuff as well, but I don't get me wrong. I know this sounds like we are being really negative, and we've still got loads of other Switch games to talk about. But
yeah, let's power through. Yeah.
I do love the Switch. I just think it's a good use in a certain situation console. And it's good.
I can't knock anything. Like everything I've got for it, I really enjoy.
Yeah.
It's just I think it's just because everything on the PC or whatever is just so accessible, and like the Game Pass as well. I know that we'll bang on about it forever until it becomes either unaffordable or ridiculous. But even like the stupid indie games. Remember Xbox Live Arcade, where every idiot who was attempting to put something together for a school project could be uploaded on there.
Yeah.
Like even all the games that I've never heard of before, I'm like, I'd have a crack at that maybe. Just have a little go on it and see how I feel. And like being able to do that on the fly. Whilst I don't have xCloud, because I've refused to pay for Ultimate. There's other than that, there's no point, and I've got a Switch if I'd use it for that. So.
No, I was going to say the only people who should be paying for Ultimate are the people that have got an Xbox, because that's the only reason I pay for it, because I've got
multiple people using it.
Yeah, well, no, because you have to. There's still workarounds you have to do for it because they still haven't done the family thing. But I've got it. If you've got Ultimate, you've got Game Pass on your PC and on your Xbox, and xCloud on your phone, and so on and so forth. It's worth the money. But if you haven't got that, you're only paying the extra for xCloud. And really, when are you going to use it? Really?
Well, that's the thing. And the only time that I would be using it, that's what I've got the Switch for. It'd be like if I'm travelling. But if I'm travelling like on a train, say, I'm using the Wi-Fi. Because I'm not fucking streaming a game to my phone. That's ridiculous. But I'd be using the Wi-Fi on the train, which is not very good. So it'd be cutting out intermittently anyway. Yeah. So you couldn't do anything I couldn't do anything with you, say. Whereas the Switch, I fuck about an Animal Farm.
Animal Crossing. That's a different
George Orwell.
That's a different kettle of fish altogether.
Yeah, I don't want to play that game.
Anyway, Mario and Luigi brothership.
Brothership, as in like friendship.
I'm assuming it's friendship, but because they're brothers. And this looks very interesting. Now,
okay, tell me.
I assume you haven't seen the trailer for this.
As I say, other than the Zelda, first Zelda, whatever, and the trailer that you sent me earlier, which we'll talk about. No, I haven't seen anything about any of these now. This
is, so it looks very, it's clearly not, but it's the art style they've gone with, like hand-drawn. And it looks like it's a cross between Super Mario RPG and Super Mario 3D World. Well, yeah, now it's called Paper Mario, but yeah, that. So it looks like it's a cross.
I started that as well.
That's a great series.
I was genuinely enjoying that as well. I need
really
to
good series.
I need to pick that back up again. Really good.
But it's got platforming elements, so I'm going to call them worlds, but like arenas. So it's similar to Mario 3D World. So you kind of like it's 3D, but looking at it from an angle and stuff, running around and whatnot.
Sure.
But the actual gameplay looks like Unraveled. So it's stuff that Mario and Luigi have to do together in order to progress.
Oh, I see.
Stuff.
Okay.
But then it goes into other bits. So there's like what looks like a boss battle, which goes into the more RPG side of things. And it looks really interesting. Like,
that does sound interesting.
Yeah.
Has there been a Mario Luigi team up game, like co-op kind of thing before?
I mean, yeah, but only in a sense of like, I'm Mario and you play as Luigi and you just run about and do what you want. Like,
sure.
This seems to be reliant on both of you doing it. So
is it purely co-op or is it AI? If you
I assume if you're not playing, like same as Unravel 2, like it'd be the computer controlling it.
Sure.
But yeah, look, that looks really interesting.
That does sound interesting.
Keep an eye on that, see if it's worth picking up. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
A remake?
Yeah, it's basically a remake of the one they already did. So
I hated that because it's way too fucking complicated. So
I mean, I love Donkey Kong, but Tropical Freeze, I want a new one because Tropical Freeze is fucking ace. and it's the Dark Souls of platformers.
That's why I don't like it.
Yeah, it's real fucking hard. But it's a very good game, but that's the last one we've had. And that is available on Switch, but it's a Wii U game.
I do remember playing that at yours and just being like, no.
It's
not
great.
for me, this. Not for me.
The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past and Zelda 4 Swords, Metroid Zero Mission, Perfect Dark, Turok Dinosaur Hunter, all added to Nintendo Switch Online.
Wait, so Turok being the N64 Turok?
Yes.
I'll get that.
To the Nintendo Switch Online section.
Yeah. Is it on there now?
I think when I wrote this up, it was later today, so this would have been Monday.
Well, Callum, you might be talking to yourself for a bit because the Switch is coming on. I'm going to have a little look at the old N64 store and see if I can get Turok and maybe not Perfect Dark, because again, that'll be GoldenEye controls, and they didn't exactly fix it for the Switch, did they?
Yeah, I'd get Zelda.
But if there's a little demo, maybe, of and things like that, Donkey Kong, I'll give it a try.
Could
see
be.
if I like it.
Could be. Lego Horizon Adventures, which is
Horizon as in the
Aloy.
racing.
No, Aloy.
What?
As in Horizon Forbidden West. But
There's
in
a Lego
Lego
version of that.
Yeah, coming to Nintendo Switch. I think that's coming to other things as well.
I fucking well hope so.
But this was from the Nintendo Direct, so I'm inclined to think it's only on Switch, but I would bet a lot of money it's coming to PlayStation and PC as well. Probably not Xbox.
I love a Lego game. It's been a long time since there's been a Lego game that's come out, isn't there?
I mean, there's been a fair few. None of notable mention. However, have you played...
You lied to me, Callum. There's no Turok or anything on here.
I'm just going by what it said on
Liar.
the news. What's the racing one? It's on Game Pass. Is it Lego 2K or something?
That's not on PC Game Pass.
Oh, it's on Xbox Game Pass. That's all right. It's not too bad. I quite like that. Well, I think that's
there was a Lego add-on, I think, for Horizon 4 and potentially 5, where you could like race in like Lego tracks and stuff. But that was paid DLC, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's the one they did for one of the E3s where they bought the massive Lego.
Yes,
Ferrari
correct. It's
or
like
whatever it was.
Mercedes or something. Yeah. It might have been McLaren actually.
Honestly, can't. I remember it happening. I just can't remember what the car was. But yeah, this is like its own thing, and it's kind of a mixture between Lego City Undercover and Horizon in the fact you just drive around picking up missions and doing races and stuff.
Wait a minute. You've got to buy him, Callum, you bloody liar.
I didn't say it was free. I just said it'd been added to Nintendo Switch Online. But why have you got to buy them? Because if you pay the subscription...
That would be exactly my question. Oh, wait, free download. Oh, wait a minute. Nintendo 64, Nintendo Switch Online, mature. So anything that's not just
It'll be an 80. It'll be R8, won't it? Because of the blood and stuff.
Yeah, but that means I need to download a separate thing for N64 to play.
That's stupid. Surely it should just use your birthday.
I can't believe that was a thing. Exactly, Callum. Exactly that. Either way, that's going to have a little download, so I'll keep you posted. And if you see me start to look away and not talk anymore, it's because I'm playing Turok. So just be advised.
I do like that you went, I'm probably not going to download Perfect Dark, because that's going to be GoldenEye controls, it's going to be garbage. But I will play a launch title.
Absolutely, even
the
worse.
Controls even worse. Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game. And apparently lets you live a peaceful life as a hobbit. And I think it's some kind of RPG style, maybe. Oh my god, I forgot the name. What's the name? Stardew Valley-esque kind of thing. That's what I think it is.
What do you mean, like sort of like a relaxer?
Yeah, it's more relaxing and stuff rather than
building.
be chased by whatever happens. I don't know what happens in Lord of the Rings, but.
I mean, the usually when you're in Hobbiton, it's like for 10 minutes, if that. Just sort of like, oh, look how everything's peaceful, and then as soon as you leave Hobbiton, everything's burnt down, everything's blown up, everyone's getting killed.
This might be a short game.
Hobbiton's the only place that you want to live. It's the only place that you want to live in.
Well,
it seems to be the only place with grass.
Well, in all of Mordor.
No, I'm just being facetious.
All right. And a Funko Fusion gameplay trailer was revealed. Have you seen this, Dan?
I have not. I'm aware that there's a Funko like Candy Crush matcha thing that I played a lot of. I don't know why, but I just got really into it. But I didn't know that they were doing something else.
Yeah, there's been like a little bit of slitheries of stuff being revealed over the last like couple of months. But we've got like, an actual gameplay trailer. Looks fucking great. Like when you again, I'll bring it up. Fortnite, they've got loads of people to pull that they've done collaboratively. So you got your Marvel, DC, Dragon Ball Z, Star Wars, etc. And you guys fucking loads of stuff. Funko's got even more. You got fucking all the Warner Brothers stuff, the Disney stuff, like fucking everything.
Yeah, and TV shows, movies. Yeah,
it is absolutely fucking mental. It looks.
They sent me a trailer of this. Yeah. I actually would. Is it sort of like a Disney Infinity kind of like sandboxy mooch around, or is there an actual point to it?
The stuff that they showed, it was more like 3D platformer, not open world, but large 3D. Like maps and stuff.
Like a Roblox create your own world kind of deal.
I don't know if you make your own. They seem to be very story-based, doing missions and stuff. But they'd be silly if there wasn't some kind of creation tool in there for people to like do community maps and that kind of stuff. Because personally, now you've said it, the Roblox market seems to be the ideal people for this game. Like I say, there's so many different people they can use.
You build. You got the office, the American Office. So you get.
I didn't even think of
that. Scranton playset, and you can be Doom Guy working reception. Like that's the sort of oddness that I want to get from it.
I'm just gonna say temper your expectations for that exact scenario.
Well, the modding community is pretty active, mate. They can do all sorts of shit.
But this is the kind of thing that this could take off and be the thing that Disney Infinity could have been. And not necessarily with the toys.
I'd certainly want to have a little look at that because that does sound quite interesting. So that's a good one to keep an eye out for. I'd like to see the trailer though, please.
Yes, I'll send that over after this. What I'd like for something like that is obviously you would have to purchase the skins and the figures and stuff. But if you bought an actual one, there was a code in it that you could scan. I'd like that.
Scan the barcode or something.
Yeah.
Oh, so, no, not the barcode.
Not the barcode.
You just
like
go to a Funko store and just be like, beep, 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 beep.
It's like within maybe an NFC chip in the actual figure or something like that.
Well, that means that if you've already bought one, that ain't in there. So that would be from that point forwards. You'd have to register it.
I'd be all right with that if they just went any. New ones that are made will have this. The old ones won't, unfortunately, because we didn't know we were going to make this game 30 years ago. Well, not 30 years ago, but...
I'd be all right just to keep you informed, N64 Mature is now installed.
The old Switch update.
Do you know what games are on it?
Turok and Resident Evil 2.
No, it's just Turok and Perfect Dark. That's it.
Oh, Perfect Dark.
Had to install the whole thing. Apparently.
Wow. I don't remember it being mature.
Well, Callum, I'll see you soon.
To be fair, that was the last game I had. So.
Oh, really?
After this, it was going to be The Boys. So.
Oh, okay. Yes. Well, The Boys has started.
Season 4.
Yes, first 3 episodes dropped onto Amazon Prime last Friday. Assuming and hoping as such that you've... Oh, God, Callum, the controls are shite.
I told you
absolute dog shite.
At least
up on the left thumbstick is... Oh, so the right thumbstick is move. And the left thumbstick is... that is all manner of shit. Oh, my good God. It's so counterintuitive.
At least Perfect Dark gives you the option to change the controls to normal controller settings.
And they're inverted as well. Unbelievable. Well, luckily, I'm not going to be playing that while we're doing this, so we can talk again. Carry on.
The Boys Season 4. The first 1, 2, 3 episodes are available, and the 4th one will be available in 2 days' time.
2 whole days, mate.
This has also got the lowest review score of any
Tell
of the
me
boys
something.
seasons.
Is this because they haven't done anything bonkers yet?
I mean, also
There's no big
spoilers for season 4 of the boys.
Yeah, but there's no big set piece gross thing that's happened just yet.
Well, we've had two. We had one gross thing, one with Splinter, which I think Splitter would have been a better name, but whatever. And then the ice rink scene. They're the two, like they're the two standout,
but
typical
that's
boy moments.
Pretty tame though, considering some of the other things that
in comparison. Yeah, I mean the fact wasn't last season; it was season before where it opened up with the basically goes inside of the penis.
Oh, termite, or whatever his name was,
like,
going inside that, sneezing into that dude's dick and exploding him.
Yeah, well, that's such a bizarre way to open a season, and you're like, fucking hell.
What happened? Yeah. How are they still fucking hell? This isn't as shocking, but I wouldn't say necessarily that people are going, oh god, it's all tame and boring and woke now, isn't it?
Well, I think what a lot of it is a lot of the stuff I've seen people complaining. I saw an article yesterday. It's basically saying a lot of the people who are angry and upset so far at this season are the people that the boys actively takes the piss out of. Oh,
so it's all your Trump supporters or whatever, just like, oh, the left.
Yeah. So it's basically they've realised that the show that
they're the ones being making fun of. Yeah.
And the more that, like, I read the article and I was looking at some comments and stuff on some of the review sites. It's like, yeah, I can see that. That makes a lot of sense.
I suppose it's because that's a testament to how silly you must be if you didn't clock that. Wait a minute, that's what I believe in. Those are my views. What do you mean that's wrong?
I mean, I think it's been okay so far.
Yeah,
I don't think it's the strongest season, but again, we've only seen 3 episodes. So
yeah, I think that there's probably more to come. But I think that the story, like the narrative, they're kind of going down, and like the. You know, we've got a suit potentially that's running for president. We've got the presidential candidate, the entirety of the CIA trying to figure out a way of killing. Wait, is he president now? Did he get elected? Is he actually the president?
He's not the president yet.
No, I didn't think he was. No. So, but there's the potential vice president. You've got the entire CIA trying to figure out a way of killing her. Also, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Don't trust you, mate. Don't trust you at all. I don't know what
he's in.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Especially he's like a spook as well, where he's just sort of like, oh, you know, well, just bake these cookies with this like insane drug in it to drug the kids, and Butcher's like, no. Well, I mean, he did it, but at least he talks himself out of it.
Well, I mean, even now to like, because he was saying like, would you train your son up to do it? And then when he finally answers the question, and he's just like, yeah, and obviously if it all goes south, I'll bury him, but I'll be damn proud. It's like, why'd you do that to your son? It's like, Jesus Christ. Even Homelander wouldn't do that. Although,
I don't know. I mean, I think the cracks are starting to show in that relationship, though. Like, I think he's starting to see more and more that this is all just a sham. He's not a hero. Like, I love the fact that they have like these sort of like rehearsal spaces and like cardboard, where it's just sort of like, oh, and then, you know, I'll come out here and I'll say this and you say your line. And like for a kid, like if you're sort of like, oh my god, superheroes or whatever, and then you're like, wait, it's staged to this level.
Yeah.
Like this isn't a drill, it's not training, we're not practicing on what to do if that happens. It's you're the one who's going to be there with the gun.
Yeah.
And I've got to recite my script, but people will film it on their phone so it looks natural. Like everything about it is just so gross.
But that again, that's what it's meant to be, and it's like all the social media stuff. And again, this ties into Gen V as well with the school,
like
the training for it and stuff.
It's like actors training. It's like you can do crime fighting stuff if you're actually good. If not, you go to like do modelling and coaching and voice and singing training and that sort of stuff. It is. It's not a superhero school. It's a performing arts school. Is what
it's
it is.
Basically what it is. You, like you say, you're learning to be an actor and stuff. And I even with Black Noir 2, when he rolls in and say, "Do too much."
Oh my god! I love the fact that he keeps on going. I don't understand this guy. Like, what's? And everyone's just like, "Will you shut up? You're definitely not supposed to be talking."
The only thing you need to do is just not talk.
I think another element that's probably winding people up is Sage. Just being like she's just seeing through everybody's plans. Like, even though they've said she's the smartest person in the world, so you shouldn't be able to surprise her. I
agree. I agree 100%. Except there's a scene in I think it's the last episode, so episode 3, where she's lobotomized herself. And basically, when she gets it on with the Deep, at that point she's lobotomized herself, and there's a thing on the table that she's done it with.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, because that's in the comic, right? But Zoe's like,
right,
what's that?
There was no context behind that. This
is what I was going to say. There's the only reason I know that is because it's in the comic. And it's not. I mean, it's not the actual Deep bit, but she does lobotomize herself because she just wants to have a chill out. Because she's got, and again, hasn't been explained. She's got healing powers, so it won't be a permanent thing.
But no, they've already said specifically that she's only got the intelligence. She doesn't have the strength or whatever else.
Yeah. So in this, she hasn't got it. Whereas
that's fine.
Yeah.
But. Okay, so you lobotomize yourself and you just get a bit of a break for a day or whatever until it all sort of
because
sorts itself back out.
She can't just relax and chill out. She's always thinking about stuff and perfecting things and whatnot. Kind of like really severe OCD. But because Zoe said, did she kill the octopus? Is that what the thing is? And that's what they were eating. I was like, I'm pretty sure blooming onion is just onion.
Yeah,
it's like covered in breadcrumbs and shit, made like a big
also,
onion.
They're in her apartment, so
yeah, but
she kidnapped the octopus, then bring it back to hers, then kill it. I don't know.
But with everything that went on in that scene, that made more sense than the lobotomy. It was just like
no. Now that you said it, I'm just like, oh fuck me, right? That's why she's just sort of like just watching shitty TV, eating nachos or whatever, and shags the Deep.
It's just not explained.
There wasn't like blood coming out of her nose. Like there wasn't like anything around her eye where she like jammed it into her brain. Yeah. I'm assuming on Friday's episode it will go into you'll be like, oh, what happened? Why'd you do that? And she was like, oh, I was sorting myself out.
Yeah,
I can only assume that's what's going to happen. Yeah. But my thought was, though, it wasn't that side of it. It was the fact that there was someone who could stand up to Homelander and just be like, you're not the smartest person in the room. You're actually an idiot. And definitively, I am smarter than you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know you can kill me if you want to, but you came to me. And the fact that it's a black woman, I think that's why people are like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. The boys goes woke. Of course the smartest person in the world has to be a black woman, doesn't it?
I saw a picture yesterday.
That would be my thinking as to why people are like, oh, boo.
Well, it is, because that's exactly, I mean, like Firecracker, the...
yeah, like the Fox News commentator, yeah.
She's that entire left-wing side. That's what, obviously, she's meant to be and stuff, and you got the other...
right-wing.
Right-wing, sorry. But with... I saw a picture yesterday, and it was do you remember that really old like Rover manuals? So like, do you want to learn how to fix a car? And it was just pictures of different car parts and stuff.
Like the schematics thing.
Kind of, yeah, those kind of things. And on the front cover, there was always like a younger gentleman with like a spanner or something like that. He's basically just go, even you could fucking do this. Right. And it's basically one of those, and it just said, everything I don't understand is woke and doesn't work. And it's basically he's pointed at the engine. He just goes, this engine is woke.
Yeah.
It's basically what most people, they're just angry for no reason.
But this is exactly the point of like when they go to like Conspiracy Con or whatever it is, and it's just like, oh my god, it's like all the sort of like odd, weird conspiracies that are going around the internet. They're all just blown out of proportion. Yeah. And that's why people are sort of like, well, vaccines don't, the bloody chips and whatever. And it's just her there just like, all the president, all they want to do is they just want to inject your babies with immigrant hormones and absolute just reeling off nonsense, and people are like, yeah, woo!
But then she not so much outright says she doesn't. Well, she doesn't believe in any of this.
She knows that what her audience is, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll play up to it, sure." But
but the way she says it, it's like they've got nobody else, so it gives them a sense of community and stuff. But that's really fucking dangerous. Is that a community of people like that who are maybe confused and stuff?
I hate to break it to you, mate, but that's kind of what the internet is.
That's what I mean, though. That's what I mean. It's not good. And even though I know this is the boys poking fun at that sort of thing, the last thing you want to do is make all these people that angry that they go out and fucking do something bad. But I don't know.
The people that are actually going to get annoyed, like the people who would be a threat for something like this, they're not watching it. The only people who are watching it are 4chan, keyboard worrying hackers.
Yeah.
With a chip on their shoulder about the world because they didn't get laid enough or whatever, or they don't believe that they've been laid enough.
I don't think it's been a weak start to the season. I don't think it's been.
I'm enjoying it. The fact that MM's ex's fella, he was sort of like a Homelander cultist, and then Homelander is like
not anymore, ain't?
Yeah, it was like this trial of. Say sort of like, you need to be like an emperor. You need to be, you need to be able to have that level of power over people where you can just say, go and kill them, and they'll just do it.
Yeah.
She's trying to create something with him.
Yeah.
It will come back and bite her in the arse 100%.
She's 100% going to get her face lasered off.
Because
he's this close.
Oh yeah, she will cross a line and she'll call him an absolute idiot, during his presidential campaign or whatever, and he'll just be like, "That's it, zap," and that'll just be it. She'll just be out of the game.
It's going to be a kind of I don't like as an actor, she's okay. I don't particularly love the character, but it would be I don't know how to describe it, but it'll be like a bit of a sad death because it's like you've killed me for doing the thing you fucking told me to do.
And she's being dragged into the limelight when she didn't.
She didn't want to be there in the first place.
Well, no, she wanted to sort of she's like a mad scientist almost. She's like, I want to be able to test my theories and my plans, and I can do it on a global scale or on a nationwide scale at least. And then as a consequence, she's now got a suit and a name. And she's a part of the Seven, and she's like, ugh, gross. I don't want to do any of this. I just want to, it's almost like a Nazi scientist. They want to do all their evil experiments, but they don't want to be brought to the light to tell people about their evil experiments.
This is the Zola of the Seven.
Pretty much. And there's still one spot to go.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that might be a Gen Via?
Well...
Actually get a crossover. So we get, what's her name? Marie?
The lead from Gen V.
Yeah.
Well, they're all in the thingy, aren't they? Underground.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, he was a wanker.
Guy
with the...
It'll be the blonde
the psychic guy.
It'll be the blonde one.
Who gets his dick blown off.
No, the girl.
Oh, Cricket. No, she would have gone underground as well.
No.
Oh, the fucking the
one that
push
can,
people to
that can touch you and make you do stuff.
Oh, yeah. That I don't know. That's not you can't she's pretty, which you can obviously do the popularity side of things, but she's not. And also, would Homelander want someone in the room who could make him change his mind?
Well, he went for at the end again. Spoilers for Gen V, but at the end of that, when. Ocean Marie was the one doing all the good stuff.
I don't know if it's Marie, but
no. I'm sure it's Marie.
I can't remember.
Anyway, the main character from Gen V, it's
hemokinesis. I think she's got.
She's stopping the one with the blood.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's because they call her Bloody Marie. It's like Bloody Mary.
You might be right. I'm
sure it is. It might not be, but obviously she's the good guy, stopping the bad guys, which is
yes,
Thingy's brother and the blonde. And when Homelander comes in,
Marie Moreau, I was right. Yeah, fuck me.
When Homelander arrives to save the day, he sides with the brother, who I can't remember his name, and
Sam.
And
the super strong one, because he's just like, yeah, fuck all the humans, and then try to kill the board of directors or whatever.
But he was turning, and she was like, do you need me to help you? And he's like, yeah. And
yeah, like forcing him over the edge. Yeah.
But Homelander sides with those two. And out of the two, again, he's really, really strong, but he's also like hard to keep under control.
Yeah, his brain's a mess. Yeah.
So she would be the best bet. And there is two of them. When the trailer came out for this season, we did see some of the characters from Gen V in it, which would be the first proper crossover, not including the Homelander scene.
And Butcher.
And obviously,
and Ashley.
Butcher showing up. Well, yeah, but she don't really properly.
Well, you say that. I mean, obviously, since Gen V, obviously Ashley has mentioned Godolkin. And Will Ferrell shows up as Coach Brink. What a cameo! Of all the people, so what's his name? Clancy Brown, is it?
Yeah.
Who plays Brink. Love that guy, by the way. Great fucking actor. Great voiceover artist. And they didn't get like a lookalike. They just went, fuck it, Will Ferrell. Sure, get on in here. Unreal.
Well, again, and this is Amazon money, what I really, really like about The Boys, and a lot of Amazon shows, is how well they're shot. And the distinct difference between the TV stuff within The Boys universe.
And they're filming a film or whatever.
Like the Dawn of the Seven look just like fucking Justice League and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's such a good eye for going, this isn't real. You've got that yellow haze, like misty look to the like the LUTs and stuff on the camera. And then as soon as it pans out and it's back in the real world, it's just so good. It
feels colder.
Yeah.
It feels much more grounded and awful.
It's very well done. Very well done. But yeah, that's such a random addition. And I'm pretty sure he's Will Ferrell as well, not...
No, he's in it as Will Ferrell.
That's what I mean, yeah.
There's a few other new additions, though. So Frenchie is gay or bi.
Well...
That took me off guard, because, again, I don't remember seeing any kind of precursor for that.
Yeah.
Like, it always seemed like it would be like him and Kimiko.
I mean...
Maybe will they, won't they?
We've known he was bi since the season 1.
Have we?
Yeah. It's always mentioned. And,
I honestly, again, I'm not saying that they just dropped it out of the blue. I'm just saying I don't remember it being...
They 100% have, because it's gone from mentioning it... and then I think the last, I can't remember the season, could have been 2. The girl who she shows up in one of these episodes, and it basically the one friend she used to work for.
Yeah, fucking hell, what was her name? Yeah, the Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She talks about it in whatever season she first shows up in, when she's talking to Butcher about keeping him on a leash. And
that's honestly, that's fair enough. I don't remember it, but at least they've. But I just feel a bit heartbroken for Kamiko, though, because I'm just sort of like, she's seeing like a therapist and like she as like a psychologist to try and, break this psychological muteness. And it just feels like that would have been the one thing where she could say like, "I love you."
Yeah.
And now he's just sort of like, but that guy's way hotter. Oh, and by the way, I killed all his family. Incredible.
But that's the bit I don't like. Him being bi. No problem. There is precursor to, like, we have the knowledge already, but it's gone from going he's bi to just going get rid of Kimiko. Here's a dude, and again, no problems with it. It's just story wise, it seems very forced, and it's again we've gone through 3 seasons of him showing how much he cares for Kimiko, and in all fairness, in the last season, she did say to him that they were like brother and sister. So
yeah, I think because you say that, I'm pretty sure she kissed him, and he was like, ugh.
No, they kiss, and then when she does the thing, it's about how close they are as a family. I don't think she uses the term brother and sister, but like they're a family and everything else, and I think that kind of that's where that line started to get a bit more bold, rather than it being that will they won't they thing. I mean, they still will ultimately, but again, it doesn't help that she's pushing him to go and kind of find someone else and stuff. And that, again, that could be her being scared, and this is all still very new to her, isn't it?
It is, but then we've now got someone that she actually knows that's on the field. So is that going to be an old friend? Is it going to be a sister that we didn't know about? Because her brother's dead, I'm sure.
Yeah, like at first I thought, oh shit, that's a sister. But then I was like, no, it was a brother.
No, it's a brother that...
That's what I mean, yeah.
He was telekinetic, wasn't he?
Something like that, yeah.
But I can't remember if he was killed or if he just
I'm pretty sure he's killed.
Most of them are. If they're not back in it for a couple of episodes, they're probably dead.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously she's taken away in a cage and stuff and kept with the... Like when we first see her, like when they find her. But yeah, so could be sister, could be a friend, could be somebody at the camp where she was held captive. Obviously, there would have been other kids there and stuff as well, so it could be anything like that. But again, we'll find more out about that. Was another thing I wanted to... Oh, A-Train. Kind of...
Yeah, A-Train's maybe turn to the light, maybe.
Seems suicidal.
Do you know what it reminds me of? In Injustice, I think it's either the Flash or Green Lantern, maybe, who originally they side with Superman with his sort of like regime or whatever, and then like the sort of the worst that he gets, eventually they say that's enough. Yeah. It might be Shazam, actually. I can't remember. It's one of them anyway, and he just kills them just there and then. But they could tell that this actually, I think I'm on the wrong side of this. I don't think I agree with this. And then Superman kills them, and I get the feeling that A-Train, now that he's sort of like, now you've got Sage kind of guiding Homelander. So rather than him just sort of like losing his mind, like he is still doing that. He's still talking to his own fucking personas in his head. But like if he's going to lose Ryan, that's probably enough to send him over the edge. So like if Sage can guide him into being like this dystopian tyrant, warlord emperor, then that's going to be him sort of saying, this, I'm in it for the drugs and the girls and the money and the fame and the whatever, but just saying, here's a bat, go and kill that guy, maybe that's not for me.
I think some of it is the fact that, like, when he's with his nephews, and it's like, I've saved this person, I've done this, and then you see the look in their face when he has to admit that none of that really happened, and it's all fake and stuff.
It's all soundsaged. Yeah.
And I think a lot of that's pushing him as well. So whereas he is in it for the fame and the glory, he's also one of the few. Not so much so far this season, but the Deep's shown it as well, where there is still a bit of a moral compass within them.
I think he's so lonely. Like he will just do anything. Yeah. I mean, like, but again, you've kind of got was it Sage who was telling him to stand up for himself a bit more? It might have been, because like Ashley's sort of shitting on him. Yeah. And he's like, actually, fuck off. Like, I can kill you here and now if I wanted to. Yeah. And now she's just sort of like, Jesus Christ, I can't even like pick on the weakling. Like, they're all going to fucking come for me now. Yeah. So like him starting to kind of like, it's in the same way that Maeve did. And like, look what happened to Maeve. I reckon he's probably going to go down that same path. And I think it's going to be his brother that, is kind of, again, you can turn this around, you can help stop Homelander. Yeah. I'm sure, I don't know, is Homelander as fast as he is? I don't know if that's been established that he's like...
I mean, it's kind of a given that he's Superman, so I'd say probably. But even if he's not as fast, he just needs to stand still, because he's just going to run into him and crush himself.
That's true. Though we haven't seen him with any real weakness yet.
The problem is, because even What's-Her-Face, it didn't work, did it?
What?
I forgot her name now. The one who explodes people's heads.
Newman?
Newman. Like, that she can't penetrate his is.
Well, we haven't seen that.
I'm sure she's.
Like,
I'm sure he said.
In the last season, like he came to her house when her daughter was there, and I think her eyes changed or something like that, and he was just like, "Try it if you want, but if it doesn't work,
yeah,
you know what's going to happen."
Yeah.
And so I just don't think she's actually tried to see if it would work. I mean, I would do it from a distance.
Yeah, because he's not going to know.
Well, maybe he would. I mean, then you're definitely dead.
Mm.
I'll tell you one thing. Actually, I'll tell you one thing. Just speaking of Newman, the one thing I don't like. Firstly, I love that Huey just like whips some acid in her face. Like, oh, you cunt! I've got to change this suit for God's sake. And then Butcher just puts a bullet in her head. So things like that are really good for establishing that. Yeah, she can pop your head, but she's as strong as not as strong, but she's like as impervious to like you couldn't do anything against her.
Yeah.
Like Butcher does a Agent Brown Matrix bang in the head and just pings off her and nearly kills Huey.
Yeah.
Her daughter, though, like getting the V injection at the end of the last season, makes sense. But that sort of like weird wiggly work, no, don't like that. Don't like that.
It seems odd that everyone, Butcher included, and Huey and that, everybody got powers. She got a fucking alien thing.
But why is she given powers and immediately I'll kill everyone?
I don't know. I mean, again...
I mean, she sees Frenchie and Kimiko in the bathroom and instantly she's like, better kill them all.
Yeah. Well, I think
she's still like 9 or whatever.
I think it's their bathroom though, isn't it? Newman and hers. So
what? They could have been the cleaning. They dressed up as the staff. They could have just been cleaning.
They could have been, but I from a purely objectively looking at it from a plot point of view, she could have just gone, they're here to hurt my mum.
Or her mum's gone, if you see anyone that doesn't seem right, kill them.
It could be anything like that. But again, same with the lobotomy stuff. Not explained. As far as we see it as viewers, she opens the door and kills everyone.
Yeah.
So
and like again, 2 of them are supposed to be on like her protection detail.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 randos in the bathroom dressed as the help, and she's like, probably should kill everyone in here, I reckon.
I mean, even though they even said to her, like, you just want to wait outside, they didn't even try to hurt her or anything.
No, they did put a good few rounds through her though.
After?
No, yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. They're, like, you know, they're happy enough to show a child getting shot and then, you know, ripping them apart.
I suppose if the bullets hurt her, they probably wouldn't have shown it, but it's the fact that she's bulletproof and...
Oh, she ain't bulletproof, they go straight through her.
No, you know...
Like, she's just Wolverineing.
Yeah.
Also, Starlight being able to fly, kind of, is hilarious.
I
like she's just sort of hovering around, useless, and then Kimiko gets her fucking face smashed in by throwing herself out that window.
I did like the...
I mean, thank God that Frenchie caught her. Like,
yeah. That was the best bit of that, though, is that she's been trying to practice. Obviously, she can't do it, but she's been trying to learn how to control it more so she can fly and everything else. And jump out the window, Kimiko just goes straight into the fucking ground. Frenchie just grabs hold of Starlight and then they come fucking swirling down and just come to a steady stop. But that's the window they directed them to. So...
Yeah, she was like, yeah, trust me.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather not, actually. No.
It would have been better if you'd have stayed on the ground and just caught me, because she's strong.
True, but it would have still, that like motion would have just still broken his legs or whatever.
Maybe. Not as much. I am annoyed it didn't show you Kimiko, though, when her face was hanging off. Maybe
they were just like, we'll save the budget for like the really gross stuff that we're going to do later on.
Yeah. We're going to have a guy doing a trade on himself. So there is a bit. I'm going to have to find it and tell you about it after this. But the actor who plays Splinter, he's like a really high up, like Shakespearean actor and like quite profound and well known within the industry. And on that scene, if you pause it, you know when Amazon gives you information and stuff. I'm gonna have to find it. But they've put like an extra tidbit in where it basically just goes, "This guy's a good actor," you know. But
he'll be known forever and ever as the guy who rimmed himself eight men down the line. But he is. Please watch his other work as well. Don't judge.
It was banned in India as well.
What, the episode?
I don't know if it was the whole episode or just that scene. I can't find it, but I will find it. I'll send it to you after. But it's just quite funny. It's just got on every other scene. It's just got this person played by blah blah blah. But if you do it on that scene, it just gives you a bit of information. That's all. It's funny. But yeah, I haven't really got anything else. I do like that again. With these kind of Splinter, where as long as that character stays intact, he can just keep cloning himself.
I don't like the shit that killed the original, then they all die.
Oh, that's what I mean. I like that because they've got to have some form of.
Well, no, because
link, haven't they?
Yeah, no. But my logic would be is that as soon as they splinter off, that's just a direct copy of him. So if the original dies, the copy still lives. It's just that the copy isn't able to splinter.
Well, they did it. It's the same in Invincible, isn't it? With the girl.
With Duplicate. Yeah,
Duplicate.
Yeah, but they're still the original. But if you were to kill the original, why would all the others just magically die?
Because there is like some link again using.
But then that means that they'd be like, they're not clones, they're like drones. Because then he'd be controlling.
Yeah, that's what that's how it works for them. It's the same with Duplicate. As long as she stays alive, she can keep cloning. But if the original gets killed, they all die.
Oh, right.
Because that's how it showed you. Have you finished the last season of Invincible? Well,
Yeah. Well, yes, I think so.
So the bit when Rex and that go in.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're led to believe Kate's dead.
Yes.
And Rex is the only one that survives. And then we find out that she didn't actually go on the mission and she got away.
Yeah, there's another one that's... Yeah.
But again, that's why she stays away, is so that she can't die then.
But then that means that the clones can clone, and that's a different thing from this. This one is just the one is the only one that can clone.
It's each one comes from the same one, whereas with Duplicate, it's her clone can also clone, so on and so forth.
Exactly, which seems way more useful, quite frankly. Because you could fill a room.
Yeah.
It's like cells dividing, yeah.
Well, even like Homeland, like as long as again, it Duplicates was like done, whereas this one is more like a little bit more drawn out process where it's not like you could just.
I love the fact as well that when he splits, obviously he rips the clothes and then the other one's just bollock naked, and then they just bust through into a bat mitzvah. And then they just got machine gun, like at least like and Frenchie or whatever. They the decency to sort of like hide the guns and go, and then he just kicks the door, just knob out, just kill them all. Love it.
Real good scene. Well, again, only shocking one, and as you said, quite tame compared to previous seasons. Ice rink scene I did like. But
that's really good. I like that.
It was, how would Homelander ever miss any of the shots that he was taking?
It's more a case of he could smell Huey from his sweat, but didn't hear him or smell him directly above him. It's things like that where it's just sort of like, oh, I think he would have done, to be fair. I assume that he knew he was there and he was just playing along. But he gets really annoyed.
Yeah. That
he's just sort of like, fucking this guy, and he's just tearing that thing up, and then who is it that like flashes in his eyes?
It's MM.
Yeah, so MM, you just killed their skater, mate. Yeah. Like that woman playing Maeve just gets sliced in half like she's nothing. That's your fault, mate. She's dead because of you.
Got the fucking people getting run over with ice skates.
Oh, that was so funny. It's like fingers coming off, and it's so good.
It was a very, like, really funny bad situation that seems like the norm for the boys, like in that kind of world. But it was, again, where normally there would have been a bit of like damage control for like PR and everything else. And then it just comes back as like, it was like a fire or something like that.
Yeah, I think there's just some absolute nonsense. Just like there's a gas leak.
Something like that, yeah.
Like that means that all the families have been paid off. And like, there's no open casket funerals.
I assume they've just killed anybody that had survived. Got killed anyway.
They just got killed anyway. Yeah, of course they would have. Yeah,
because we're going to do is a fire. No, it wasn't. Homelander fucking lasered everyone.
Well, I'm pretty sure that when like you went to the desert and then like you accidentally like killed some civilians or something like that. That was another thing that's just sort of, it was just hushed up immediately.
Oh yeah, I mean that's been the thing now, hasn't it? It's all been about up until when Ryan gets the bottle thrown at him, and then he just fucking lasers the guy in the face, and everyone's like, "Hey!" But it was before, like that would have happened, and he'd have gone, "Fuck, I shouldn't have done that." Whereas now he's just like, "I can do what I want because people love me," and it kind of reminds me of a certain blonde president. Not to
popularity over actions.
But I'll say it now, and I say it every single time. But Anthony Starr is such an underrated actor.
He's really good.
He's amazing. Like I like it. I've only seen obviously in Banshee and in this.
I do like the fact that he's
Auntie Donna.
Auntie Donna. I was going to say, yeah. Please don't forget. But like now that he's finding like grey pubes, and he's like keeping him in a jar, it's just like this guy is so deranged.
But that's why, like, there's good villains, and in not just this in every show, but Anthony Starr seems. We were talking about with Tom Hardy the other week with Bane and Mad Max, where you have to do a lot of acting with his face, and I don't know anybody that does more acting with just their face, and it feels like he could just snap at any possible second.
Yeah, it's never a case if you see him just like wrecking in a whole, squad of people or whatever. Like, you only ever see him sort of engage every now and then, and it's like the most minimal effort. Except, probably, I think the first time I've really sort of seen him actively put some effort in was in the last season when it was Butcher and Soldier Boy going up against him.
Yeah.
And I think it's because he had a challenge. He was just like, fuck this.
Yeah.
And like he just bailed immediately because he was like, I can't actually deal with it.
No, that was Huey and Butcher. That was at the party, and then he gets thrown into the wall, and then he flies off. But when it's Soldier Boy...
No, because that's all three of them, because Soldier Boy's on top about to blast him in the back.
Yeah. But,
and then he pounces and shoots out.
But with the Soldier Boy one, that's when him and Butcher team up.
Yeah, that's in the thing. But again, that one didn't seem as much of it. I think it's because he was just so surprised that it proper took him off guard.
Like at that point, it was only really never like explicitly said, but you got going off Superman, Wonder Woman. It was always kind of like Maeve could probably go toe to toe for a little bit with him, kind of.
But she was afraid.
Yeah, she'd never do it, and when she did, she lost an eye.
Well, it's more a case of you go straight after her ex.
Yeah.
Or then partner, I guess.
Yeah. But when you've gone however many years with nobody being able to step up to you, and then the two people who you know definitively can't, i.e. Huey and Butcher, and then the other one is dead, you, and the other one shouldn't even be alive.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. There's no reason he took off.
But that's not him being so egomaniacal that he's just like, oh, I'm unstoppable. I'm a killing machine. I can take everybody on, and then just getting swiftly kicked the fuck out of. He engaged, got overwhelmed, and bounced because he was like, I can't deal with this.
Yeah. Kind of, it's just regrouping, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, if he'd had any smartness about him, he would have just flown up and just lasered the fuck out of the building forever until he was definitely convinced that he got them.
But he's also, as with a lot of them, he won't have any field practice because it's not like...
But it's like, I've said this before, but it's like a Jedi is the most powerful person when there's no one else around who can use the Force. Like, no one can touch them, but as soon as you've got anyone else who can use the Force or a lightsaber or that could even stand toe-to-toe with you, if you've gone 20 years and no one's ever stood up to you or been able to stand up to you, you won't have a fucking clue what to do.
It'll come down to whoever's the most skilled and in a fight, to lack of a better word for it, the better fighter will always win on that. Unless an accident happens and like a car gets thrown at them or whatever. But like with Soldier Boy and Homeland, like Soldier Boy actually did back in the day, he did do actual stuff. It wasn't all glitz and glamour and faking it and everything else. And Butcher obviously is a brawler anyway. You couple that with super strength, you're going to get bad. But it turns out he's a lot stronger than all three of them combined. And with Maeve.
Do you think that obviously Huey, now that he's seen Butcher having like one temp V too many and his brains are leaking out and he's going to die any minute basically, do you think that, like, so Huey's probably got one more in him?
Yeah.
Or no, one more would have put him in the same position. Sorry, so
same.
Yeah, but do you think that now that Frenchie's fallen off the wagon, do you reckon that Frenchie and MM might step up and temp V to
well, it's a
engage?
Possibility. I mean, maybe not MM.
I mean, he's very principled.
That's what I mean. He won't do it just for that.
But I think that with him taking over the sort of the leadership role and Butcher being like, you need to be a twat. Like, you need people to actually do what you say. Yeah. Like, because he's literally just got, like, Frenchie and Kimiko just sort of, like, fuck off. And they go, he's like, where are you going? Like, we've got a side quest that we're doing. So, like, I mean, if he sees why Butcher did it and the potential benefit of it, then maybe he, you know, again, to protect his daughter or whatever.
He might. And again, that'd be the main reason, would be his kid. But, like, even like Butcher sat down and you could, again, as the viewer, we 100% see Butcher's side of it and the things he's had to do and why he's done them and stuff. And for a split second, you think that so did MM when he's explaining to him, like, you've got to be able to make the tough decisions and blah, 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 blah. And he's just like, and I need your help to do this. And he's just like, too little, too late. Why would you say it like
No, I agree. Like, he's been nothing but a fucking pain in the arse for him.
But that's what he's been for his whole life. And, like, I do prefer, like, the comic version of MM is a lot more on Butcher's side. And, like, where he, like, when he's twatted him in this, and he's just like, I thought this time it'd be different and we'd go back to being brothers again.
Yeah.
That's the kind of MM that he is more so in the comics and that. But in the no spoilers, but
No, be careful.
No. Say this, but I talked about this when we first talked about the boys. All of the boys except Kimiko, they all take Gen V all of the time. There's no lasting side effects or anything else. Temp V, sorry. And it just gives them all super strength. That's it. And
so with Butcher's condition, is it a case of if you take 4 doses, that's it, death sentence, or is it a case of as soon as you're at that point, any more will escalate matters?
I assume it just escalate it.
Because like, if it's just sort of like, well, you've got 6 months to do it every day if you want to, you're still going to die in 6 months.
Yeah,
but you've crossed that threshold. I
assume, especially like Homelander says, like you got that big black mass covering your brain.
I love that. You can just see through his head, and it's just like, I can see. Like, I'm actually annoyed that we're not going to be able to have a big duke out and a big brawl.
Well, that's most like when they walk off, and he's like, "Come on, I don't want to miss Smash Mouth." It's like such a great line.
Why Smash Mouth? I don't know. Maybe it's because they could get Walking on the Sun. Like they could get the license to
it. But I would assume that it is a case of if they go, because I don't think they've given them a time frame. But they go, you got 6.
It's like 6 months, they said, yeah.
But I'm sure they said, what is it? 6 months? A year? Less? I'm sure that's the line he said. But anyway, we'll stick with 6 months. If he does it again, that may be 3 months. If he did it again, dead.
Well, then I'd be more in a case of, I'm going to die anyway. I know it works. I know what I can do with it. And he's going to need it if he wants to. So if he's got 6 months, that means that in his eyes, he's got 6 months to kill Homelander.
Well,
so
I assume it's
in that 6 months,
though, isn't it?
True. I mean, you probably, if you're sensible, you'd only do it. You'd only get one more shot.
Yeah.
Or just take the Perm V.
Well,
just take the shot in the spine. Surely you're cured immediately.
Again, the principle side of it, like a temporary thing, I'm not a soup, but the if you do it permanently, then I'm just one of them.
That's true. But you can always, they've killed a bunch of soups before. Like if he flew into the sun, or he threw himself off a huge building into a black hole or whatever. Like he could find a way to kill himself, I assume.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. Though, like the temptation would probably be like, well, I've killed them all. Now I'm the only one. Maybe I should run the country. It's that kind of thing. Yeah.
But yeah, so I would assume, but he's got some on him at all times, and then if he had the opportunity,
just pop it when he needs to.
Yeah, so it'll be a case of like, because he said like that the only thing that scares him is leaving, like is dying and not being able to save Ryan before that happens. So I would assume he's going to go to the efforts of getting to a point where he's got Homelander, he can take the Temp V, hopefully kill him, and then he will die himself. That's what I assume it would be.
Could Ryan give him a blood transfusion?
I'll tell you. Because I don't...
Like if you were to take his blood and put it into Butcher, would it maybe like not have like a lasting side effect, but maybe the healing side of it could like clear his goo brain?
Potentially. And that might be something that they do.
I mean, assuming that you could puncture his skin and extract the blood, and the blood wouldn't kill him immediately or whatever, because it's like super blood.
But this is a thing, like, they do this like with a lot of stuff, where it's like the needle won't go in. But he's strong enough, he could fucking just rip his arm off and then go take my blood.
Well, you could do it with Kamiko, because apparently hers will just grow back in 3 minutes anyway.
Yeah, it's very quick. A lot quicker than the other seasons have been.
I do like that. Just sort of, her arm just gets ripped off and she's like, meh.
I did like the brief second of like baby arm we had. Like,
where she's like, eh.
But again, I don't mind stuff like that because it is already established that she heals. It's just never been that
very,
fast.
very quickly. Yeah. Very good. I mean, she's never lost a limb though before, has she?
That's true. She's normally just getting shot and stabbed and stuff and just getting flattened like a Looney Tune character. I would have loved it if she stood up like the like Doc from Roger Rabbit, and she's all over the place. Then she just went and put herself back.
When you say Doc, you mean Doc Brown, when actually what you mean is Judge Doom.
Judge Doom. Can't
Bloody
believe
Doc.
that. My most favourite film of all time, and I called him Doc. Would have been easy. I would have let myself off more if I'd have just said Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, it would have been fine.
That would have been fine,
yeah.
But not a character from a different franchise. Fucking hell. I watched Roger Rabbit on Sunday as well. That's annoying.
So good.
I watch Roger Rabbit at least 3 times a year, easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
It's still an absolute fucking marvel to me, that show.
Yeah.
That film is, sorry. But one thing, speaking of Roger Rabbit, which is on Disney+, The Acolyte started last week, Star Wars new show. I remember we talked about the trailer for The Acolyte after it came out a couple of months ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And it looked pretty good. Carry-On Moss looked great in Jedi robes. Question for you, Callum. Have you started watching The Acolyte?
I am fully up to date.
Are you?
Yeah, I watched it before you because you was going to... I watched the day it started, and you said you were going to wait until it was all out, and then you're going to watch it in one go.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you've gone back on you.
No, not at all. I
haven't?
assumed that you hadn't watched it, so I was going to do a little intro. Have you watched it? No. Okay, me either. Let's move on then.
I've watched. I watched it on the day. I've watched today's. So
yeah, there was a new one today, wasn't there? Enjoying it so far?
It's fine.
Cool. That fills me with huge amounts of confidence.
No, I mean I wouldn't hold out hope on it. I'll tell a lie, Dan. I'm on episode 4. I want to say, or 3.
It would be 3 because 2 came out the first week.
Yeah, it was 1.
I think it was last week, and then 1 today.
And up until now, so say, I think they're about half an hour long each. The episodes are.
Sure.
The last 40 seconds of today's episode is the best of everything so far.
Oh, that's not good, is it? That's really not good.
And there's nothing inherently wrong with it, but it's as slow as Boba Fett Not as slow as Andor, but as slow as Boba Fett. And there's no characterization for any of the characters. Like they're all brand new characters that we don't know, but I don't give a shit about any of them. The lead, I can't tell you about the lead. That's a bit of a spoiler. It looks great, like sets and everything else. Like everything looks good. It doesn't feel as High Republic as I would like. It just feels like normal Star Wars, with the exception of some of the Jedi wear golden robes. But the High Republic everything was nice.
Everything was like, it's like, you know, when you sort of see like ancient Egypt, and it's like, here's a rendering of what it would look back in its prime, and it's like, it's like a different planet.
Yeah,
it's like an alien like landscape. Everything's white. Yeah, everything's marble. Everything's beautiful. And then it's always, but now it looks just like a rundown, beat up piece of shit.
That's
the Old Republic. Sorry, not the Old Republic. The High Republic. Sorry, would be that. Say it's all ostentatious and it's all gold and it's all everything floats and levitates or whatever until the grinding reality of we can't sustain this. That kind of sets in, and there's wars and depression and awfulness, and everyone's. Then you get to Andor, where everyone's shooting each other in alleyways or whatever.
But this everything feels like this is a town from the Andor's show. This is a town from Obi-Wan. And it's just like, nah, it doesn't feel grand. It doesn't feel, like, glorious and, nah. Acting's fine. It's okay. Like, I don't dislike anyone. The guy, I don't know his name, but the lead guy from Squid Games, he's one of the Jedi. He's very, very good. Yeah. And the lead character, which I didn't know, Zoe pointed it out, is a girl from the Hunger Games.
Never watched it.
I've seen them, but I couldn't tell you anything about them other than the fact that Jennifer Lawrence is in them.
Yes, that I know. If it's Jennifer Lawrence you mean, then yes, I know who that is.
You know the girl that gets killed in front of her?
No, because I haven't watched any of them.
You've watched Mr. Sunday Movies, though, haven't you? I'm sure we talked about that.
Presumably, yeah, if he's covered it. But yeah. I'm listening to them, not watching the 3-minute clips that they have of the actual film they're talking about. There's a girl
in it anyway. She gets killed right in front of Katniss because she makes like a wrong choice or something like that. That's the girl from Acolyte. And then somebody pointed out the other day that the two biggest shows on TV at the minute has got Huey, who was from the Hunger Games, and her, who was from the Hunger Games.
I didn't know Jack Quaid was in.
He's been in loads of things that I couldn't care less about. But again, like for us, it would be, we know him as Huey from The Boys and Thingy from Lower Decks. And
Boimler.
I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that he's been in.
I'm going to do a quick IMDb search because I know that
he's
there's something else. But there's something I've seen him in either as a bit player or. Also, do you know what I watched yesterday? I don't know why, but I watched on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I watched Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. I just did one a night, and I don't know why. But the guy who's in like the sort of cool, suave guy from Maverick, not Miles Teller, not Tom Cruise. The other main guy. He's just like, I'm the best pilot in the world or whatever, and he's dead handsome. And like he saved, like he's I think he's in that new Hitman movie or whatever. He's in The Dark Knight Rises.
Is he?
He's like, so there's a bit, do you remember much about the film?
Oh, Batman.
Yeah, The Dark Knight Rises, yeah. So at the start, near-ish at the start, when Bane comes into like the stockbroker trading centre, and there's a guy who's getting his shoe shined, and he's like, "Oh, come on, let's get out there and fucking steal a bunch of money off people or whatever," and like throws some money at the shoe shine, and then he's like one of the guys who gets like picked up and like uses a hostage on like the back of his moped. Yeah. That's him.
Fucking hell!
And I was just like, I recognise that guy. He looks like a not quite as handsome and ripped guy as the guy from Top Gun. And then looked on IMDb, and it is him. And I was just like, no, because he's not even named. He's just sort of like Stockbroker 2 or something like that. And I was like, I kind of love sort of like seeing just like a random cameo, not cameo, but like a bit part extra work or whatever, like tiny role for the people that then just almost out of nowhere, they just get lucky and then they skyrocket. And, I'm so happy for him. Anyway, what did I come on here for?
Jack Quaid.
Thank you.
What stuff's he been in?
What's he been in?
I have decided, though, just while you're looking at that, I'm going to watch Banshee again.
Good for you.
Because I fucking love Banshee. He might even be in
that. Going back, so his career started in the Hunger Games.
Oh, that was
his first. That was his first one.
That's a big break, because he's got quite a big part, so like a substantial part in that as well.
Well, that's in 2012. Something that I've never heard of. Another Hunger Games. A short, another short, another short.
'Cause he's voicing Superman, isn't he? In the new
he's
cartoon.
in Shadow of Mordor.
Is he?
Like, yeah, he plays one of the bloody. He's a voiceover in Shadow of Mordor.
Fair enough.
Boy Who Couldn't Sleep and Never Had To. That's another short. A sketch comedy TV show.
He's in Scream as well.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Oh, actually, I think I'm thinking.
It might be one of the newer ones.
Yeah,
then,
yeah. No, not original Scream, like from like 2021, 22.
Workaholics, Logan Lucky, Shadow of War. He was in that. Same dude. Rampage. Don't remember seeing him in Rampage. You know the Rock.
Yeah. The based on the game.
Don't remember what that is.
I don't remember him being in that.
He's in the music video for Creedence Clearwater Revival. Have you seen The Rain? He's in the music video for that. Mental.
But I imagine that's probably...
Whoa, Callum. Auntie Donna's Big Old House of Fun.
Jack Quaid.
Do you know who he was?
Yeah, you know when they had the basketball game?
Yep.
That bit. Because I remember having the conversation saying, I bet they were filming.
Do you know what?
They were filming the boys.
I genuinely think I remember you talking about this on Telegram or something like that. He's done a couple of
the app. Not we didn't go back in time and.
No. Batman, Scream, Sucks to Be the Moon. Don't know what that is. Yeah, he was in The Long Halloween Part 1 and 2.
Oh, the cartoon, yeah.
Falcone. Peter Parker in Across the Spider-Verse.
Which one?
It just says Peter Parker, so I assume it's not any of the normal. It would be like one of the rando Peter Parkers.
Yeah. It's not. It's obviously not the main ones.
Oppenheimer. That's what I was thinking of.
I still haven't seen.
I saw him in that. Kind of good. It is kind of great. It's worth watching. And then Strange New Worlds.
Yes.
And The Boys. Then My Adventure with Superman. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the Superman cartoon. I'm sure he was Superman.
Yeah.
A lot more than I thought.
It's mainly sort of like shorts and things that are a little bit more under the radar. I think like Boys, Star Trek to a degree, The Hunger Games certainly. But you know, if you start out with a game like a film like The Hunger Games, that surely again, if you're and he's what's his face, his son, isn't he?
Dennis.
Randy Quaid. Dennis Quaid. I'm pretty sure it's Randy Quaid's son. So not that it's like a nepotism thing, but
no,
I'm sure it fucking helps.
It's one of them where if you've got a really famous parent, and go, my kid's an actor, you can probably get some work. You
get a token. Like, all right, we'll give you a try.
Yeah.
And then if you can pull it off, they go, well, fuck it. Okay, well, it's a dynasty. It's in the genes. Make him famous forever.
He's a good actor.
I really like him. I really do like him.
The thing with Quaid is, and again, this is a good thing, most of the characters he plays, they'll always do something that I always massively disagree with. Where it's like, I know, again, it's to tug at the heartstring kind of thing, but in the last, the current season of The Boys, where his dad rings him, and then he doesn't answer the phone, and then he gets upset. You fucking did it. Just answer the phone.
Nah, that's just one of those things of like he needed to be able to go there and be annoyed at his mom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was all for plot and everything else. Yeah. Even the stuff with like everything that went wrong with him and Annie, and it's like you can't be upset because she told you, don't fucking do this. And you went, I won't do this. And then you fucking did it.
Yeah.
It's like, and again, it's all like plot reasons. And I get it. But it always makes me dislike the characters. And that's a good thing. Because that means they're doing a good job. Yeah. And there's not a good person in The Boys. Like, suit-wise. And like, Annie's done fucking... We found out all the bad stuff Annie did to Firecracker.
Yeah.
When she was younger. And, like, they've all done
Maybe
something.
MM's daughter. That's possibly the only person who hasn't done anything that's been shitty yet.
That we know of. She may have cheated on a maths test.
Well, who knows?
And that's obviously comparable to murder and everything else.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point. They're not meant to be nice people. It doesn't really matter who you root for. You're rooting for a bad person.
Yeah.
And again, that's the point of it. But anyway, I think we'll wrap it up there, Sunshine.
Yes, I don't think there's much else I need to talk about, I think.
I have nothing else wrote down. I will say you can visit podcastversusplayer.com/PvP-store and you can check out all the new stuff, including our Marvel stuff, our DC stuff, our brand new line, excuse me, I hiccuped, Quiet Facts. We've got loads of stuff. It's all on there.
Princess Beckett commends.
Beckett is back.
You.
I'm going to see
Look how big she is.
She's getting a lot bigger now. I mean, she's still tiny, but
big stinky fatty.
She's still absolutely beautiful. Dan made a little princess fort before the podcast for
Princess
Beckett.
Castle out of Amazon boxes.
And
yes,
it's fantastic. It's very good. It's very creative. However, on the photo you sent, the scissors are just on the table. Don't put scissors by my beautiful Beckett.
They're not scissors, Callum. They're nail clippers.
Are they?
Like her nail trimmers. Yes.
They looked like.
Well, yeah, because they're scissors. They got their, but the end is like a thing that's sort of like
they're like a flap,
like snips like that. So you just put like the end of a claw in, and it goes snip.
Wow, why if she cuts her own nails?
Well, considering she has got thumbs and couldn't open it to save her life, I think we'll be all right. To be fair, she's got more chance of slating her own throat on the sellotape that I've used to take the ends down.
Don't say that. Anyway, you can get to podcastfirstplay.com / just podcastfirstplay.com. We've already done the store bit. Yesterday, our awful comic book art video went up, which is our new game show. We did a run through. I enjoyed it. Dan enjoyed it. I did a run through with Zoe, see if she could get any before the video went up. She got a handful of them, but she very much enjoyed it. So we're going to do some more. And I've already found the next ones. So we'll do it again reasonably soon. And then Moving Out 2 went up the day before.
Yes.
Nice little fun little game. And I can't remember. Have we decided what's the next thing, Dan?
I don't believe so, no.
So we're not going to say it just in case we don't do it. So just whatever comes up next on the channel.
Yes.
And I'm going to go. You are going to go. And you're going to come back for the next one.
Oh, good. So